In order to simulate a boss fight, I started by dropping all of my assets into a single Maya file. So if you look here, this is my current stage of the proof of concept. It isn't quite finished yet, but this is what I have so far. Now, if we look at my perspective view and you'll look under the arena, you'll see this is one copy of all of the animations that I've created. And they all function completely normally. They're all their own individual animations. And essentially what I'm going to do is, much like how a video game would call each animation, I'm simply taking this model, which is the actual model that is going to be rendered, and I am copy and pasting all of the keys that each animation has to it when I deem it necessary. So right now, we have it looping the walking animation for a few hundred frames, and then eventually the character is going to call attack animation 1 followed by attack animation 2 and 3, like so. And the translate control is moving accordingly. So when the character jumps forward, I'm simply just adding that movement, since that isn't actually reflected in the animations under the arena. So I'm just moving the translate node whenever it needs to be translated, basically. Um, so that is how I am taking care of the model. Now I also have a camera rigged right here, and if we look here, this is the camera's view, and I've done my best to try and simulate an actual video game camera. It is really hard to actually get a view that looks like correct, since there's so much user input that goes into a video game. I've tried to have the pivot around where the actual character would be. So if you look here, my move gizmo is roughly placed about where the actual character would be on the XZ plane. I haven't really messed with the Y thing because I don't think I'm going to have to actually point the camera anywhere, so I haven't bothered with that. So from there, I can basically rotate the camera as if, there was a character there. And then it should basically conform to that need. It should only come into play when I'm moving the character, because I'm going to try and simulate what would happen if a character were to roll through some of these attacks. But that's there to keep the camera in a mostly stable orientation to simulate an actual video game. And then once this is done, I'm basically going to render out the entire simulation and the starting cutscene that I created to go before the battle, and then I'm going to be putting them together in Adobe Premiere, and then that's basically going to be the simulation of the video game aspect, which is what you would saw at the beginning of the project website. And that basically sums up my process on this entire project.